50 minutes, 0-second game. Little mini session. Let's just push through the center. Let's develop the knight. Let's do the Fee and Chateau blocking. Or maybe not now. Okay. Let's develop the knight, supporting the pawn. Bit of overthinking there. Let's bring the bishop out. Castle. Let's just see if we can manage the center a bit, lean on the knights. Second knight move. What's his idea? To releasing the bishop, 2-on-1 situation. We have 2-on-1 protection. Not really sure what the knight move was. Let's see what he wants to do. Might have been baiting the pawn to open up the king area. Could take the knight off the board, allows the bishop to own the diagonal. Many options. Going to hit the knight with the smaller piece. I'm going to take. I'm not going to deliberate over that. It's allowing us to hopefully own some space here. And we could leave that block down because the bishop's no longer got a power base on the diagonal before we contemplate doing this. Anything else? It does feel quite nice doing that, but we could hit. Bishop takes, then we could hit, but then he's got 2-on-1. Itching to push this, itching. It feels positive blocking down, but I don't think we're going to keep that position. Let's just attack the pawn. There needs to be activity on the board, not stone wall blocking down situations. Not that there's anything wrong with the stone wall. Like I said, I brought myself up with the stone wall type of playing in the early part of my playing. It does have its limitations. So they'll be looking to double the pawns with the bishop taking, I believe. Once this takes, rook takes, or even the bishop takes. Probably the bishop. Not sure if I'm a fan of that. Knight can come and attack the queen. Are they looking to come and farm some attack towards our area? I'm actually just bringing the knight across. They may just attack. Bishop is defending. It's a shame the bishop can't come here to attack. It's going to put a check on our king. There he comes. Just move it out of the way. So it doesn't look like there's anything meaty they've got. I mean, the queen's protecting this pawn here. They must be considering taking the pawn now with the pawn. Just brought the queen there to protect the pawn as well, so we're not attacking the rook. So it's attacking us again. We can bring the knight back, it's fairly safe. It's definitely no attacks. Definitely no attacks. Yeah, let's bring the knight back. Fairly comfortable, they're all jammed in, thinking the king is safe. Queen's in the center of the board, just need to mobilize some pieces or get some support somewhere. So they are attacking. Knight can attack the queen again, but we'll take with the bishop first. Eyeing up the pawn, bring the queen or knight across. Comes across, attacks the knight again, or just comes here rather. So this is going to be attacking the pawn. So maybe we don't do that. But the further away the queen comes, it does have this diagonal. So basically the bishop is going to be taking the knight because the queen gets this pawn here. Yep. So they take, we take, and the queen takes. Queen is on the white square. We do have a white square bishop. Can attack the queen, and at that point they probably would take. So they're not going for that opportunity just yet. I mean, we can swing across and attack the queen like we said, but he can just drop here and he'll get the pawn. So we're not doing that one. Is there any way of protecting the attack? We could push this pawn. His rook is opposite our queen, so you'd probably expect this pawn to drop onto this pawn. That's probably what is going to happen. If we pushed, and then they did push, we pushed again. Pawn takes, then they still get the knight and the pawn. If we move the queen up, it's still opposite with the pawn. Still opposite with the pawn, then the bishop can come here attacking the queen. But they may just go bishop takes, pawn takes. Options and choices. Let's go with the queen. We're expecting that. Bring the bishop here attacking the queen. They can still, oh no, they'll move the queen, maybe not there. Here attacking this pawn, or even here, sorry, I keep going backwards, but they can go here attacking the pawn. Okay, that's the extent of my calculation. Oh, well, whichever pawn. We said this pawn, but that pawn's attacking. Right, so we could attack their queen this way, or we could, like we said, attack with the bishop. So I'm going to attack with the bishop, and if they do go here, it's going for the pawn. I was thinking of doing that, but I'm not doing that. We'll come here with the rook, supporting the pawn. At that point, they're going to be taking, or even, no, they won't do this, will they? Queen's moved, blocking the area, so we could take. Queen takes, bishop takes, or do they have an attack? Oh, this bishop move here, and can't do that. If we do take, maybe the queen takes, and then the rook's on the, but then the rook's got no protection. So going to take. So we're giving them back the doubling of the pawns because the bishop will take the knight. Not just yet, but taken. So we could just attack the rook. Queen takes now. Don't forget the rook doesn't have any defense, so we'd get a check on the king. Bishop can defend. It's even Stevens. Queen takes, bishop takes, supporting the pawns. Rook moves out of the way. Takes so long over these obvious moves, it's a bit of a killer sometimes. Rook moves out of the way, simple. Still wants to own the file. Wants to double the pawns. Can't really defend. Knight can come here, defending the pawn. Alright, so he's gone there. We can still attack it. Or this way. What can the knight do? Can the knight do anything? No, it can't really. Can't squeeze in there. The pawn can attack it, but the... We'll come here, protecting the pawn. See if we can get it moved, get this support in and push. Some sort of situation. Just a bit of tunnel vision thinking. Mindful that we've got this to deal with first. So they are attacking. And it could drop here. Let's just move the rook like we said, supporting and getting out of the bishop's eye line. We still can do this and this. That's my tunnel vision movement. If nothing else changes. Wants to get his bishop out. So the bishop's probably coming here at exact spot, attacking this pawn. That's funny. So we could attack the rook like we said. It's a bit smaller piece attacking a higher piece, but then again he can still attack the pawn and he's attacking a higher piece as well. So I don't really see a problem pushing the pawn here. I think it helps our case. Let's just push the pawn and we can still look to do this and this. Bishop does have a free pawn. Don't really want to don't want to mess with my structure, but if we take, we're opening up for them. So I'm going to do what we've been wanting to do for a while. Bring the bishop here. Get the knight here. The knight was going to be getting the rook or the bishop, but there's nothing there now. But it can dance around here. but the rook's not going to be there. So it could attack the bishop because it's got an X-ray through, but we lose the pawn. So we have to think, oh, we can attack the rook. Let's go into the rook space. So those two tunnel vision moves have come off, so that's half decent. So we don't have any tunnel vision moves after this, apart from now they're still looking to try and put some pressure here, but we're attacking a higher piece. So you would think they would move the higher piece first. Sometimes it works out that taking the lesser piece gives them better position. Gotta be careful. So where does it move? It's not going to move there, it's not going to move there, so it can move across, or it can move here, or it can move back. And there as well, but I doubt it's going to go there because of the discover check with the bishop. And going here, really, it's just biting on a tough one. Oh my gosh, I just said, but going here is biting on a tough one, isn't it? It's not really okay. So this bishop can actually take, and we're attacking a higher piece before we open up the space for them. Shall we do that? I think that looks pretty straightforward to me. Let's take the pawn and attack the rook. Not seeing any clear inroads yet, so he's gone there. Now we do have the X-ray with the, but he can take the bishop. Don't think there's anything fancy other than attacking their bishop like we mentioned earlier. So we're kind of giving them a pawn. We're up a pawn, so we don't need to be greedy. Or we can just take the pawn and lose the bishop. Just make sure we're not missing out with anything with this knight. I think we're just bringing the bishop, attacking their bishop. They might look to double up and attack the pawn here. The knight takes. Take with the pawn. Doubles the pawns, the rook's on his rook. Oh, I was just about to say, I probably need to stop flicking about with the lines, because that type of thing is going to happen. Oh. Okay, it's happened. So we can take this pawn here with the bishop. He's going to take this pawn with his rook. Yeah, he's on fire. Okay, let's take. Takes that. We come back around and attack his rook. Because they're hot for the trot for grabbing the pawns. And then we can start pushing this pawn with some support from the rook. Okay, so we can start pushing this pawn now, I think. I think his bishop's... Ooh, do you know what's going to happen? I start pushing, he's going to attack the bishop. We take the bishop, king takes. His rook's got this here, but the knight's protecting there, so we maybe don't need to worry too much. Let's just push the pawn. It's going to get the knight in the game, attacking the bishop. Going to need to bring the bishop here, attacking the rook. Hopefully they forget that the knight is stealthily guarding this area, because they're chomping at the bit to get this pawn. They have done as well. Exactly what we just said. I just had a feeling in my bones that's what they were looking at doing. Brilliant. Oh, they're still playing on. So advancing. Could attack the bishop. But we kind of lose out because the knight takes and then the bishop takes, and Did we lose out? Could push the pawn onto the knight. Knight comes back around or goes here or something, or what do they do? Let's push the pawn onto the knight. Looks like we're going to be having to give the bishop up or something. Can't escape actually, can go there. It's going in front, so... Oh, we're going to have that funky... Nope, nope, nope. Can't really attack it because the bishop is defending that area. We come all the way in. If we come here, we can at least push a bit more, maybe. Something's telling me that's not right. Let's just bring the bishop here. Maybe they don't see that we're attacking the rook. Probably comes up and attacks the bishop. Get an X-ray through to the knight, but the knight is protected by the bishop. Just come up and attack the pawn. That might not go down so well. So in essence, we need to get the rook here. We'll get this rook here, go for a checkmate because he can't move. But it's not checkmate, the bishop can go there. So I'm not going to waste my time with that one, I don't think. And they have done, so we can just attack it, but then he's going to keep going up and attacking. So the best place is probably here. None of this. You can just attack the pawn. Yeah. I'm not liking this, not liking this. Come back up. Blocking the pawn. Let's just go here. Okay, arty business going on now. So they've given the knight, we take, he takes the pawn, we attack his rook. What am I missing? Just take the knight off the board, we attack his rook. And behind his rook is the pawn. He comes across, attacks the bishop. We have to move the bishop. King looks safe, yeah, so we're going to attack the rook like we said. Simple stuff. If he goes there, we can take and support the pawn. What is this? So we can attack the bishop twice. And that's what we'll do. Attack the bishop twice. King is safe, there's no checks with his bishop. Put the X-ray through. Their time is running out. Just try and just keep half decent position of some sort. Don't want any miracles coming through this. So they're attacking, so in a nutshell we can just take, oh, we could just take the rook anyway. We can just take the rook anyway. And then we can take the bishop. Okay, nice game. 25 and 0. Let's develop the knight. Support the pawn. Capture. Support the knight. Let's develop. Let's take with the pawn. Okay, deep think already. Let's get our lovely bad bishop into a bad bishop state. Let's castle. Okay, so the queenside castle changes the trajectory of our potential movements. Let's start attacking the kingside, queenside, kingside, if you know what I mean. Let's push. And we are going to hit this knight. Nice, nice, nice. Bring the queen towards the king area. That's how we're going to try and jostle these pieces to get over there. Now they're starting their attack on our king side. This would be nice if we can just get this, maybe this or this. Attack in here. Just going to drop, take. Give some activity towards attacking the king. Beats us with tempo, so that might mean the knight blocks our rook from coming here, because we need this one to keep this pawn protected. And looks like they've resigned. I don't know. That's a bit early, dude. That's a bit early. Yeah. It's only minus 0 point something. That's nothing. It's neither here nor there. Yeah, we were planning. We were thinking probably the worst case scenario was the pawn pushing down. I'm not going to follow what the computer says. I'm going to follow what I thought was the worst one for us, which would meant we would have had to come down here, or we could squeeze here with no threats, but it's just on the other side of the board. And if they continued their attack towards our king like they were doing, maybe pushing this, supporting, then we were looking to get this rook here to attack. Yeah, so that would have looked a bit more favourable for us. That was the type of thing we were looking for. Might not have come off, but maybe Val's showing that it's happy with it. Cool. Let's attack the knight. Okay, they're feeling good. Let's just take the knight off the board. Shall we support the pawn? Okay, nice and steady away. Just take this pawn off the board. Castle. Keep it simple though, keep it simple. Let's attack the queen. This looks like a very strange position. Oh, gets my queen. Let's take. Odd player. Right, if we go here, this bishop and the rook are going to be targeting. So let's just bring the knight here, blocking for a moment. See the charge of the light brigade coming down and attacking this knight. So they want this space. What can we do about it? Even then, that doesn't help. Yeah, look at them straight away. That doesn't help. But are we going to be in time? Bringing the knight across. No, because they hit. There. What's the magic? Maybe just bringing the rook here then. Supporting. I think that's what we'll do. Because we're not going to be fast enough. And we've got the king and the rook supporting. The motor set, so they'll still do it even though they know we've got protection here. Just to be a nuisance. Yeah, well, one of them. Let's just bring the knight out. See if we can be a nuisance to their bishop. Let's just be a nuisance to their bishop. So we can take the bishop or we can move the knight, because we've already got the protection from the rook and the king if the bishop's deciding to take. So not interested in that. They're looking to get a check of some sort, but the king can take. We'll take the bishop off the board, take it out of the equation. Okay, and we can take the pawn now and look to see about doubling the rooks either here or here. So yeah, very peculiar opening. So we could go here, but his rook's just going to come and defend. So we may as well just hit this rook, see if he's going to exchange. Ah, that's not happening. Interesting. Right, so get the knight involved. Maybe some checks on the king. Don't. He's just taken a pawn. Let's put a check on the king. Continue is as is his. He's got my rook as well. I didn't even notice. My gosh. I must be asleep. Shall we attack the knight? My brain must have got into blasé mode, feeling I was actually in an advantageous position and that I didn't have to do that much to convert it, and I've just gone asleep. That can happen in numerous games that I play in chess. You know, you feel like, hey, you've done enough, and then suddenly they start creeping back because I'm not doing proper defenses, I'm not attacking properly, I'm feeling like the game is won already, when it's obviously not, and the opponent's telling me so. And so this is taking the knight. Could the knight not have gone somewhere else? That's a move order thing, surely. That was like one of those moves we talked about in one of the previous videos, where sometimes the move order of things we kind of forget, and we expect the opponent to take in a different way. So maybe they expected us to, I don't know, take the rook, then the rook takes, and then maybe the knight's dancing around doing something and it escapes somewhere else. So that, yeah, that looked a bit strange. So we can now take this rook off the board, or we can put a check on the king. Then we'll just take it off the board because we've got more material. not a fan of this, but because the knight is covering this square and this square, I think we'll get away with it. Gotta be careful because I'm planning to come here, attacking the pawn, or I could just take the pawn. I'm not really wanting to give them any life coming down, but do we have to worry? Don't want to give them anything. Knight puts a check on the king. King comes across. We take. His rook's not coming here. Let's put the check on the king. I'm okay if he goes that way because the king's blocking. Don't want their rook coming here, causing any potential havoc. Let's take. Whoa, steady on. That was a little bit draggy type. Almost like it was pushing the rook back towards the king. Yeah, that felt weird. Probably defending or pushing the pawn, protecting the pawn. Not protecting the pawn. It's got a pass pawn. Do we fall into the realms of letting this pawn get by and our king can't stop it? No, we can always go here. Unless of course they know something I don't know. They're moving a bit frantic. Let's go. (18-0). Let's hit this center. Let's grab the pawn. Take the knight. Support the pawn. That's all. Support the pawn. Develop the bishop. Attacking the pawn. Develop the rook. Let's take the pawn. Take the knight. I think we can rest easy now in terms of, let's bring the queen here, x-raying through, but the rook's obviously going to come and protect the bishop as well. So quick time, we will move the queen out of the way, facing their king. Obviously for the cheapie as well. But the long pause that's taking place now, we're never getting away with that. And the queen's down. None of this until this happens. Let's push this. White squared bishop, jumping to come back, blocking the rook. Could double the pawns in front of my king, no issues. Yeah, obvious moves. So we can come here, or we can come back, can come across. Many things, not doing that obviously. Could attack their queen. Options and choices, which one do we want to go with? Shall we go with this one? Let's go with this one. Let's be a bit of a nuisance. Has to protect the pawn. It's going for the attack. It's not a checkmate. Can move. Comes down, we can move. It's not too great a thing. Can we do anything? Check on the king. Doesn't have to take, he can move to the side. So that's not causing too much problems. But getting the queen off the board, I suppose in a way is a good thing. Let's just take. Could attack the bishop. Let's attack the bishop, isolates the pawn in the center. But we have space with the rooks to start causing a little bit of trouble. There we go. So rook's owning this file, looking to own this file, putting pressure on this pawn. This pawn's going to need some support. To attack it here, it's bringing that to give the support. So we'll go here, still looking to attack the pawn. Can get this rook here doubling up on this pawn. It's attacking our pawn that has no protection. So we attack his pawn that's got no protection. He'll be on our bishop. Yep, so we need to just move the bishop out of the way. Not there, not there, not there. Let's just bring it safely here. And then I think we're good to go. Yep, so constantly attacking all the time they are, so let's just hit their rook. Constantly trying to find things for us to think about. Let's take. This pawn needs support, but there's no other pieces that can support, so we'll be gaining the pawn back, but as you know, we're more interested in improving our position, which I think this does help improve our position, but he's going to be attacking our bishop first, so he's going to be able to support the pawn. So we could bring the king here, but then his bishop's going to be attacking, and we could then just take the bishop if we wanted. I'm going to bring the king into the game, supporting the bishop. Drop down, protecting. And going to attack this pawn with the idea of potentially coming here to go here. But they could just drop, but we can take the pawn. And the bishop has come there, so we can attack the bishop. Where does he go? What's the plan? Ah, very clever. Didn't see it that way, did I? Didn't see it that way at all. Thought it was going to be a straight, but he's just dropped the pawn. Wow, yeah, damn. Simple stuff, eh? And I don't think they're going to have much support now, are they? Maybe we're getting this one now. It's hitting the bishop twice. That's like magic, isn't it? Let's hit their king and take their bishop off the board. So they gave us magic and we gave them magic. Let's take it off the board. Yeah. But as we know, the game's not over. If they keep moving, we have to try and keep on. Yeah, they're still moving. We've got 2 pawns. Let's attack their rook. Is their rook going to be playing ball or not? Let's attack the rook. Just trying to trade that. Ooh, little. Let's attack the rook again. Blocking the pawn. So we could take this pawn, or we could take this pawn. Which one do we want to take? Probably this one. Although he's going to be supporting this pawn coming down, isn't he? Right. King can come across to block. Yeah. Let's bring the king across to block it. Just to take out any attempts of this getting any further. Let's go here. Just be mindful that the rook can come round the side at some point. If it gets a little bit lower, comes here, comes there. So he's saving that pawn. Let's come here. That's got to check on his king, but we need to get... Oh, what am I doing? Arrows, arrows, dude, arrows. Need to get the rook across here to be attacking here. Yep, I think that's the plan. Let's do that. See if we're fast enough. Right, boom. We can still go boom. Yep. Bishop's protecting the square if he's coming. Yeah, he's trying to stop us from coming here. Yes, nice one. Let's take. And take with the king. Excellent. Nice one. A quick game. I've got to jet. 5 minute and 0. Let's see how we get on. Let's just pump this out. Oh, that was wrong. Never mind. Let's just go backwards. Let's hit the head of the snake. Bishop's coming. Let's take. We gotta go. We gotta go. Let's X-ray through to the queen. And let's develop the knight. Castle. Check on the king. Not much, but bishop's got no protection currently. Is that going to? Yep. We'll check on. Taking himself off of the X-ray, so let's just take the knight. get the bishop out. Let's hit the rook and the pawn. Slides up to give it double protection. Doesn't. So it's hitting this pawn here. We'll be hitting their queen. Let's take. Hitting the queen and the rook. And let's take. Takes. Doesn't take just yet. So we can push the pawn. Let's push the pawn. Now it's a little bit hemmed in. Obviously the queen's getting attacked by the rook. Not just yet. Attacking pawn, king. Twice. X-ray through to the queen. Excuse me. Wrong arrow. Takes with the check. Let's hit the knight. Queen's looking at some sort of passageway, protecting maybe. Take the rook off the board. Yes, protecting with the queen, some sort of way. Takes the bishop. Let's hit the queen. Goes back because he still wants to protect the knight. Doesn't do that, but attacks our king somehow. Let's take it anyway. Bishop's got the attack. Queen can take. Poor knight's never getting in the game. And what's this looking like? Let's attack the queen. He's not going to trade. He's not going to go there though, is he? Onto a dark square or coming here. Dark square. Let's get to the other side of the board. Excuse me. Dark square to get to the other side of the board with a check. Oh, Shema. So take the queen for 3. Oh, and they've left the game. Whew, okay, that's a nice quick one. Quick time. Nice one.